At precisely 9:18 a.m., chaos erupted in the courthouse, not from a suspect, but from a German shepherd named Rex. With a sudden, forceful pull, he broke formation and dragged Officer Marcus Chen across the marble floor, ignoring every command. Lawyers stumbled aside, security reached for their radios, and murmurs spread like wildfire. Rex wasn't acting out, he was on a mission. His eyes locked on the courtroom doors with a desperation Marcus had never seen before. This wasn't a drill. Something deep in Rex's instincts told him that behind those heavy wooden doors, someone needed him urgently. Officer Marcus Chen had handled Rex for 3 years, but nothing in their partnership had prepared him for this moment. As Rex barreled through the grand courthouse hallway, his paws clawed at the marble with purpose, dragging Marcus through startled crowds and gasping clerks. Rex had never disobeyed a command until now. His nose twitched with urgency, eyes locked ahead, as if guided by something invisible yet undeniable. Marcus, still gripping the leash tightly, stumbled forward, struggling to keep up. They crashed through the heavy double doors of the courtroom, the bang silencing everything. All eyes turned towards the commotion. Even Judge Hawthorne's gavel froze in midair. But Rex didn't care. He surged forward, bypassing the stunned gallery and lawyers, heading straight toward the bench. Marcus's heart pounded, whatever Rex was after. It wasn't drugs or explosives. It was something far more human. And what happened next would bring the entire courtroom to tears. Rex lunged under the judge's bench with a force that startled even the bailiff. Officer Marcus dropped to one knee, trying to pull him back, but the German shepherd was locked in on something unseen. Then beneath the dark wood and shadows came a sound, a faint, terrified whimper. As Marcus leaned in, his eyes widened. Curled up against the wall, wrapped in a blanket, was a tiny girl no older than 4. Tear-streaked cheeks, trembling fingers, and eyes wide with fear. She had wandered from her guardian earlier that morning and, overwhelmed, had hidden beneath a bench. Rex let out soft, soothing grumbles, gently nuzzling her like a protective older brother. A wave of gasps rippled through the courtroom. The judge recessed immediately, her voice cracking. Officers rushed in, but no one dared interrupt Rex. He had found her safe, scared, and waiting. And in that moment, the courtroom's hero wasn't wearing a badge. He was wearing fur. As the little girl emerged from under the judge's bench, still clutching her blanket, the room held its breath. Her frightened eyes darted around until they met the warm gaze of Emma, the 8-year-old, sitting quietly with her social worker. Without hesitation, Emma stood, walked over, and knelt beside the girl, Rex, still standing protectively between them. Speaking in gentle Spanish, Emma soothed her, assuring her that she was safe now. "This is Rex," she said softly. "He's a good dog. He found you because he cares." Slowly, the child's trembling hand reached for Rex's fur, while her other hand gripped Emma's tightly. Judge Hawthorne, watching from the bench, blinked back tears. In that moment, the legal noise faded, replaced by something far more powerful, pure empathy between two children who had both known fear and loss. And it was Emma, with a heart far older than her years, who gave that frightened child her first moment of peace. Judge Hawthorne had presided over family court for more than 15 years, but nothing had ever moved her like the scene she had just witnessed. She sat silently at the bench, watching as Emma cradled the younger girl's hand and whispered words of comfort no adult had managed to provide. Emma's calm strength Her natural compassion and the quiet command she held over the moment pierced through the layers of courtroom formality. Here was a child who had endured more than most, yet instead of retreating inward, she offered solace to another. The prospective adoptive parents sitting behind Emma were visibly affected. They had come to the hearing unsure, hopeful, but uncertain whether they were truly ready. But now, seeing Emma's courage and kindness in action, something shifted in their hearts. The way she instinctively protected Sophia, spoke her language, and included Rex in their shared comfort. It was clear this was a child who didn't just need a home, she had something to give. The hearing resumed, but with renewed clarity. Emma wasn't just a name in a file anymore. She was a girl who knew how to love and who had already shown the kind of heart that could change more than just her own story. 3 weeks later, the courtroom looked very different. Sunlight streamed through the tall windows as Emma sat between the Martinez couple, her hands nervously folded in her lap. A fresh ribbon held back her curly hair, and beside her tail wagging softly sat Rex, proudly wearing a new vest stitched with the words "Honorary Family Member." Judge Hawthorne entered not with her usual stern stride, but with a warm smile that betrayed her emotions. This wasn't just another hearing. This was a beginning. The Martinez family, once hesitant, now looked at Emma with complete conviction. They'd watched her navigate the chaos of that courtroom day, not as a child seeking attention, but as someone offering it. Her empathy, maturity, and ability to comfort someone smaller than herself had sealed their decision. They weren't adopting out of charity. They were expanding their family with someone they admired. As the judge called the room to order and papers were signed, a quiet moment passed when Emma hesitated before writing her new last name. She looked at Rex, who gave a soft huff, as if to say, "You're safe now." She smiled, pressed pen to paper, and with careful strokes wrote Emma Rodriguez Martinez. Applause broke out. The court clerk wiped away a tear. Judge Hawthorne leaned over and whispered, "Welcome home, sweetheart." And Rex. He nudged Emma's hand and rested his head on her lap, content, proud, and right where he belonged. This wasn't just a legal victory, it was love restored. Weeks passed, but the impact of that courtroom moment never faded. Emma settled into life with the Martinez family as if she had always belonged there. Gone were the restless nights and the fear of being sent away again. Instead, she found herself surrounded by warm structure and love. But one thing never changed her bond with Rex. Though still an active K-9 officer, Rex became more than just a police dog. On weekends, Officer Marcus Chen would bring him by for visits, and each time Rex would sprint to Emma's side as if no time had passed at all. At school, Emma flourished. Her teachers noticed not only her growing confidence, but also her kindness, especially to classmates who were shy or struggling. When asked where she found such compassion, she simply smiled and said, "Someone once found me when I was lost. I want to do the same." She kept a framed photo of that courtroom day on her desk, a reminder not of the chaos, but of the turning point. Rex had done more than find a hidden child. He'd uncovered a hidden strength in Emma, one that now helped her face life with courage and grace. The real rescue had just begun. At the adoption ceremony, the courthouse buzzed with warmth and celebration. Judge Hawthorne, now deeply moved by Emma's journey, requested one special addition to the day: Officer Marcus Chen and Rex. When they entered the room, Emma's face lit up brighter than ever before. Rex trotted confidently to her side, sitting tall with his tail gently swishing, as if he understood the importance of the moment. As the judge handed Emma the papers finalizing her adoption, she paused. "Emma," she said, voice slightly wavering, "you've shown us all what it means to love fiercely, to protect without fear, and to heal others, even when you're still healing yourself." Emma reached for the pen, and with a steady hand, she wrote her new name. Rex nuzzled her elbow, gently, a silent partner in this victory. The room erupted in applause, but Emma barely noticed. She was too busy hugging Rex, whispering into his ear, "We did it." That day, Rex wasn't just a canine officer. He was family, her guardian, her hero. The adoption papers made it official, but the bond they shared had been sealed long before, with one bark, one act of courage, and one moment that changed both their lives forever. This story reminds us that loyalty and intuition often reveal what the eye cannot see. For older adults who've lived through life's unpredictable seasons, the bond between Rex and Emma is a touching reminder that love and protection come in many forms, sometimes four-legged and covered in fur. Rex, a disciplined canine trained for precision, chose to disobey commands not out of rebellion, but because something deeper guided him: compassion. He didn't just find a lost child. He reunited lost hopes, healed wounds of abandonment, and became the bridge between fear and safety. For seniors, this tale speaks to the power of second chances and the importance of paying attention to instincts both human and animal. It shows that even in structured systems like a courtroom, real change happens when we act with empathy. Whether you're a grandparent, a caregiver, or simply someone who has known both loss and love, remember this: no act of kindness is ever wasted, and sometimes the greatest hero walks quietly beside us, asking nothing in return but trust. In life, it's never too late to belong, to protect, or to be reminded that we still matter. Always listen to your heart and your dog.